Welcome to this explainer. If you're a student or a parent tuning in right now, I want you to just take a deep breath. I absolutely get it. The spring college admission season, it is an emotional roller coaster. For so many of you, the results over the past few weeks simply weren't what you worked so incredibly hard for. But I am here to tell you, with absolute certainty, that this is not the end of your academic journey. In fact, it might actually be the beginning of a much smarter, more strategic one. Today, we're going to walk step by step through the highly structured, tried-and-true college transfer pathways that exist right here in the American academic system. So let's dive right in.
So, what if you just didn't get into the college you wanted? Yeah, it's a painful question to face. You might have had stellar high school grades, a rock-solid GPA, great SAT or ACT scores, a resume absolutely packed with extracurriculars, and yet you still got a rejection letter. It is completely normal to feel let down. But here is the brilliant thing about the U.S. education system. It's literally built on second chances. It doesn't permanently punish you for how your senior year shook out. Instead, it offers this incredibly structured bridge to the exact same top-tier universities you originally aimed for.
Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with college rejection reality, move into the UC Guarantee or TAG program, then cover the UCLA Honors Program, elite private transfers, and finish up with some crucial success advice.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, college rejection reality. I really want to completely reframe how we look at the community college route. Listen to this, number 1,200. That is roughly the number of students who successfully transfer into the prestigious UC system from Santa Monica College alone, every single year. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? If you throw in neighboring schools like Pierce, Moorpark, or College of the Canyons, you're looking at well over another 1,000 successful transfers annually. The big takeaway here is that transferring from a community college to a top-tier UC is absolutely not a desperate backup plan. For thousands of brilliant students, it's a deliberate, highly successful strategy that's honestly often more straightforward than getting in straight out of high school.
Moving right along to Section 2, the UC Guarantee, also known as TAG.
Let's break down how this actually works as a rock-solid system. I really want you to focus on the word guarantee here. The transfer admission guarantee is exactly what it sounds like. It's a formal contractual agreement that offers guaranteed admission to 6 participating UC campuses for community college students who hit specific academic benchmarks. We're talking UC Davis, Irvine, Merced, Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz. If you maintain the required GPA and take the right classes, the anxiety of the whole admissions lottery just disappears. You're in.
But look, a guarantee means you've got to hold up your end of the bargain, right? And that means being incredibly organized. Here is the absolute critical timeline you need to burn into your memory. Between September 1st and September 30th, and honestly, don't wait until the 30th, you must submit your formal TAG application. You'll coordinate this directly with your community college's TAG advisor. Then, you follow that up by submitting your general UC application by November 30th. Missing these windows? Completely off the table. Structure and perfect timing are your absolute best friends right now.
So, what's the actual catch? What does it take to secure this guarantee? Well, the academic bar is surprisingly reasonable. To be eligible, you generally need 30 transferable units under your belt. As for the minimum GPA requirements, they vary a bit by campus and major, but they are totally doable. UC Merced asks for a 2.8 to 3.0. UC Riverside is around 3.0 to 3.5. Santa Cruz and Santa Barbara hover right around 3.0 to 3.2. Even a highly competitive school like UC Irvine asks for a 3.4, and UC Davis around a 3.2 to 3.3. For a dedicated student, these numbers are absolutely within reach. Just keep in mind, specific majors might have their own quirky prerequisites, so regular check-ins with your transfer advisor are an absolute must.
Which brings us to Section 3, the UCLA Honors Program.
Now, you might have just noticed a pretty famous name missing from that tag list. Right, UCLA. They actually don't participate in the standard tag program. Instead, they use a completely different pipeline called TAP, the Transfer Alliance Program. This is UCLA's dedicated initiative where they partner directly with the honors programs at local community colleges. Basically, UCLA uses this to actively recruit the absolute best transfer candidates. So if your ultimate dream is to be a Bruin, you don't just enroll in a community college. You make sure you specifically enroll in their honors program.
Let's unpack what that actually entails. When you look at partner schools, places like Pierce, Santa Monica, and Pasadena, a really reassuring pattern pops up for UCLA transfer requirements. First off, you've got to test into or be eligible for college-level English 101. Second, you need to knock out a minimum of 15 honor-level units. At a place like Santa Monica College, that just means completing at least 3 specific scholars courses. And third, you need to keep that GPA at a 3.25 or higher. If you hit those marks inside the honors program, you are placing yourself in a heavily prioritized, highly favored VIP pool for UCLA admission.
Now you might be wondering, okay, but how do I get into these community college honors programs to begin with? Your high school record does matter a tiny bit here, but honestly, the bar is super forgiving. To get into the honors transfer program at Pierce or the scholars program at SMC, you're usually just looking at a 3.0 high school GPA. Pasadena City College asks for a slightly higher 3.2. If you meet those pretty modest benchmarks, the door to that UCLA pipeline swings wide open for you.
All right, let's pivot to Section 4, Elite Private Transfers.
But hey, what if you're dreaming way beyond the West Coast UCs? Maybe you're eyeing the Ivy League or top-tier privates across the country. That transfer pathway definitely exists, but I'll be straight with you. The rules of the game completely change here. Most of these elite privates do offer transfer admission once you've finished your first year of college. However, unlike the UC system, which primarily looks forward at what you did in community college, these elite private schools still look backward. They will rigorously tear apart your high school transcripts, and they still place a heavy weight on your SAT or ACT scores right alongside your first-year college grades.
To give you a real sense of why they demand so much data, just look at this intense statistic, 20 out of 1,000. That is roughly how many transfer applicants Yale University selects every single year. The competition for these elite private transfers is just incredibly fierce. It is not a comfortable guarantee like the UC TAG program. It is literally like trying to thread a microscopic needle. So while it is absolutely possible, you've got to step into this arena with your eyes wide open to just how tough the competition really is.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Success Advice.
Whether you're gunning for UC Davis or holding out for Yale, the road ahead demands serious discipline. This is a crucial piece of advice straight from educational experts, including ECEC Director Yoon Suk Lee. It's tough love, but you need to hear it. Never, ever neglect your studies just because you're at a community college. Because the vibe might feel a bit more relaxed than a high-pressure high school, a lot of students make the fatal mistake of slacking off. Losing your focus and dropping your academic rigor will instantly torpedo your transfer guarantees. You have to treat every single day at community college with the exact same intensity as if you were already sitting in a lecture hall at UCLA.
I want to leave you with one final, incredibly powerful thought today. Do not stay in despair, but do your best for a new leap forward. A college rejection letter is just a detour. It is not a dead end. As we've seen today with the hard data, the TAG program, and these incredible honors pathways, the system is literally designed to reward resilience. The blueprint to your dream school is laid out right in front of you. The only question left is, are you ready to take that leap and put in the work? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I wish you absolute success on your academic journey.